Hey, okay. This question came to me, and it's really important. Is why am I so far behind? Remember, we're doing this thing with wrong questions, right responses, and this literally hit my brain. So we're gonna walk through this because why am I so behind is a question that maybe destroying your momentum. That question may be the thing that's literally destroying your momentum, your moving forward, your path, your focus. And so let's check. Let's have this conversation. And the key with this is if you have questions or whatever, put them in the chat. Okay, it's very important. So let's talk about it. For me, it was like I looked up and it was June. And I said, what the? Halfway through the year, 6 months was almost gone. And only 6 months are basically left. And then that little voice showed up in my head. That's part of the reason we're addressing this. That little voice showed up in my head and said, why are you so far behind? Because we set up goals and affirmations and all this wonderfulness, and all of that is good. I'm not knocking any of it. I do it. I teach it, right? However, it's like playing a game, a football game, and you're at halftime. You're right at halftime, and you need to go to the locker room and you need to relook at some plays because everything is not happening the way you thought, the way that you set it up to do. The replays, all of that, the replays that's happening in our head is not unfolding the way we anticipated. So I know that voice. Like I said, I opened my mouth and opened my brain, and that voice came out of my head, and I said, "You know better. That's the wrong question." So the thing about it is, I said at the beginning of this year I would publish 20 books. I'm just going to use me as an example because I ain't going to talk about you. Ain't going to be no trash going on right now. 20 books. Right. And I was so excited. I was launching and I launched it, and it's been amazing. Identity first, and, all of this and all this wonderfulness. And I was just on cloud 29. And then I had this, why are you so far behind? Now, here's what's interesting. Again, this happened to me, the chick that teaches. Wrong question, my response. Yet I asked the wrong question. The moment I heard myself say it, I stopped because I said, what's triggering that? What is this? I had to deal with the emotion. So the pause was because I needed to deal with me and find out where's that coming from. And before we can answer the question, we need to literally determine if the question is even true. Is it truth? So the wrong question is, why am I so far behind? The deeper question is, who says I'm behind? Compared to what? Compared to whom? Compared to which version of the plan? Compared to whose timeline? Compared to what expectation? Most of us don't realize it, but we are measuring ourselves against an imaginary scoreboard. I just want y'all to pause on that. It's imaginary. We set this up 6 months ago, or we believed this was going to happen 10 years ago, or whatever. A scoreboard that nobody else created. A scoreboard that nobody else sees. a scoreboard that catches us in a moment, and it's our belief system, it's what we desire to happen, right? I'm not saying don't make goals, because that'll be a lie. You need to, all of that is good. However, when we start judging ourselves and we start criticizing ourselves, even in our head, it makes a huge difference. See, the scoreboard changes every week. Honestly, it changes every minute, every second in a game. And they have the audacity to have replays. I love it, right? And we need to look at it like that. Consider that. So the first thing I'm going to deal with is the night. Y'all know I like this principle, and it's a really powerful principle. But today I'm actually going to show it so that you can see it. So you can take a snapshot and literally see it. So the 99.3 principle that I'm been talking about for the last at least 3 weeks is a 90-second pause. Then ask yourself, and during that pause, take 9 deep breaths, right? And then during the 90 seconds, and then ask yourself 3 questions. Is this statement actually true? Is what you just thought of, is it actually true? Because your brain is constantly filtering information. Most of what you've done, it doesn't actually show up anymore because it's done. So when things are done, we kind of put them behind ourselves, and we don't necessarily have this board somewhere that we say, okay, we've accomplished this and we got up 3 days or whatever it is, right? We don't always do that, right? So our brain normalizes what we've done in the past. It discounts it. It literally minimizes it. And you say, why? Because your brain is focused on the gap. The gap between what you said you was going to do and what has occurred. I'm going to say it again. Our brain is focused not on all the things that we've accomplished. Our brain is focused on the gap between what we are either judging ourselves, we're looking at other people for, we're doing all those things, and between where. And that is the key. The key is our brain is dealing with the gap. And unless we go back and reframe some things, we will stay in the why am I so far behind mantra and not look at, is it really true? And that's critical. So our brain doesn't think about the gain, what we've accomplished, it focuses on what isn't done instead of what we've accomplished. So I stopped and looked at the facts, not my feelings. You know how our feelings, how we felt. So when I made that statement to myself, why are you so far behind, Johnnie? You said you're going to do 20 books and da-da-da, it's June. You need to be da-da-da. And what did I say? I teach this stuff. I believe in it. I know it's true. So I had to reframe and refocus. I had to go back and look at the facts. Well, the facts is I've not only done Identity First, I've done a kid's book. I've done 4 more books out, but I hadn't seen it because it wasn't physically in my hands. And it's not about me. It goes beyond me. What are the things you said you were going to accomplish, and now you're feeling like, why are you so far behind? Or you looked at your career and said, I got my degree, I'm gonna get this, and this is gonna happen and this and this, and it's not aligning. And you're saying, what's wrong? You hear what I'm saying? What's wrong? What's the problem? And so we're looking for, okay, what's the issue? Why? So when you look at the facts, and it comes from a different perspective, and the facts tell a different story. No, I haven't published the 20 books. It's only June. I am not going to force myself to put them in KDP and prove I've published 20 books. But I had completed far more that I honestly gave myself acknowledgement for. And I'm thinking you're the same. I'm thinking, see, feelings are not data. Literally, it's a conclusion. So this is important. Feelings behind is not the proof that you're behind. Feeling behind, I'm going to say it again, feeling emotion, the emotion that comes up in you that feels like you're behind is not proof that you're behind. Because remember at the beginning, I said, based on what? Based on who? Based on all of those things. Feeling, our emotion, that when we feel like we're behind is not honest proof that we're behind. So it's simply data. And I'm a data chick. So it's just information. It's data. So let's deal with that again. Because it's only data and it's not proof, then the problem comes when we turn our feelings into conclusions. Hear me? When we turn, the problem comes when we turn our feelings, our emotions that we get a chance to regulate. I know a lot of people say they can't, but okay. Feelings into conclusions. Because feelings, just I feel behind, the conclusion is I am behind. If you're not careful, you'll feel that you are behind. You'll feel like I feel like I'm behind, and then you'll say I am behind. See, it's two different things. Those are not the same. Feeling that you're behind is a temporary emotional experience. It's temporary and it's emotional. And yes, it makes us feel like we're in an experience. However, this is the key. When it comes to identity and saying that you are behind, that is an identity statement. Feeling like you're behind, I'm not telling you not to feel whatever you feel, but look for truth, look for your 99.3, do all of that. But when you say you're behind, that's identity. And when you say that and you believe that, that's where you lose momentum and it causes other issues. Okay. Now, if you don't listen to any other part of this, that alone will help you in every area of your life. But I have more. So the question is, see, we eventually act in alignment with one of them, whether our feelings, we either align to our feelings or we align to the identity piece. And it's based on what you say. I can feel that I'm behind, but remember, I went next to truth, the 99.3. Was it true? So the first actually true. The second statement I had to go through is what evidence supports or contradicts what I just felt. And then the third one is what is one meaningful step I can take next? That's an empowerment piece. And by you doing that, that helps you shift from feelings to self-control, self-confidence, self-awareness, all those awesome things to move forward and gain momentum. So let's talk about the mid-year audit. You say, Johnnie, I didn't say nothing about audit, and you don't want to do all the money stuff. so yeah, let's talk about audit. It's like, remember when I said go to the halftime, you go to the thing, you go to your own space, and you decide, y'all get together, and y'all read, do stuff, and you take a break, and sometimes the coach says words that shouldn't be publicly said or whatever, but you adjust. So instead of asking why am I so far behind, ask this question: what have I actually accomplished? Sit with that. What have you actually accomplished in the last 6 months? It's June. What have you actually accomplished? And don't look at things and make small of them. Look at the things you've actually accomplished. And I'm going to give you some example. Grab a sheet of paper or open your calendar, your notes, open your emails, open your photos. That's a good one. But look at the last 6 months. Literally look at it. Most people will discover they have done more than they remember. That's what happened to me. I believe that's what will happen to you. But let's step in a little bit deeper into the water. And this is why. Because success becomes normal. You forgot what once felt impossible. You forgot it. So evidence before emotion is what I would like to enter into. And you said, most people step into emotion and stay there. They don't then do they don't shift it and reframe it and said, where's the evidence? So in law, in the court of law, we're innocent until proven guilty. Give yourself that credibility. And that's not an excuse. That's not an idea to procrastinate or anything like that. What it is giving yourself a space where you can drive in and gain momentum by doing the next thing. So take 3 columns. Column 1 is going to be what you intended to do. Don't trip on it. Don't trip. There are some things I said I intended to do. I have adjusted. I said, I ain't doing that. That ain't happening. Not because they're impossible, but because I'm a different person and I don't need to do that. There's something that changed in me. So some of the things that I intended to do are no longer valid. It's okay. I'm not telling you to take everything off the list and just be, special with it. Y'all know what I mean when I say special. Don't do that. Hold yourself accountable, right? So column 2, what actually happened? I started this weird thing because I was in this space of, I'm so far behind. I said, okay, instead of doing a to-do list, and then I went through the situation that said, I'm going to do a to-don't list, what I'm not going to do. For about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, I wrote down the things that I've accomplished during the day. Like going to the gym, that's an accomplishment. You hear me? Things like that. Whatever it is, write down what actually happened. And then column 3 is what you learned. See, this changes everything because life rarely follows the original blueprint. It just normally doesn't. But growth often exceeds it. And so I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Maybe you plan to launch a business, right? Instead, you spent the last 6 months helping a 6th family member. You see the judgment? I didn't do it. I didn't do what I planned. But what you did do, what you did accomplish based on the need was the highest value because you did what was urgent and what was important. And I'm assuming it was urgent, right? But you did what you need to do by helping a sick family member. Now, we could talk about a whole bunch of stuff regarding that because I don't know your specific situation, but we're using this as an example. So, most people call that they're behind, that so they call that being behind, helping a sick family member instead of launching your business. And you said you're going to do it this year and it's 6 months in. But maybe God calls that being faithful. Maybe the family member is calling that as being appreciative. Maybe it's causing you to spend time with someone that you may not have spent time with, and you're calling it transformational. So you adjust to the quadrant of urgent and important. Let's give another example. Maybe you plan to lose 50 pounds. Instead, you learned how to stop emotional eating. I mean, listen. So you planned on losing 50 pounds. That was your plan. However, what you really learned in the last 6 months is that number one, you emotionally ate. Number two, you learned how to stop it. Now you call that behind. I call it building foundation from and learning. And this alone is a game changer for a healthier you. Maybe you plan to publish 12 or 20 books. Instead, which I have done, and this is my reality, I've created systems, frameworks, and relationships. I've created intellectual property, and I know that there are people out there that are doing the same. They've created intellectual property, they've created content, they started being faithful and consistent in certain platforms, and that is momentum. So some people may call it that's being behind because they didn't do the 12, 20, whatever the number of books, or even one, right? Really hear me on this. Listen to what I'm about to say. It matters what you say. What you're hearing from an emotional perspective versus what's actually happening can be very, very different. Very different. And the better question, because the wrong question is, why am I so far behind? The better question, the right question is, what evidence proves I am behind? Then what progress have I failed to acknowledge? Remember, you're going to do the 3, column 1, column 2, column 3, and look at that, to look at the truth so you can reframe it. And because that's important. So what's your next meaningful step? Because clarity rarely comes from looking backwards. It comes from moving forward. So here's 3 practical tips. I'm going to share them. Audit reality is tip number 1. Audit reality. Now, tip number 2 is celebrate the invisible wins. And tip number 3 is shrink the future. That doesn't mean you shrink. That means if you had 30 things that you're going to accomplish, but now you look back and only 5, 10, 3, whatever is the main thing. See, This goes beyond trusting our feelings because now you know the evidence. So evidence first, emotion second. That's what that is. And when I talk about celebrate invisible wins, what I'm really saying is not every win has a trophy. Some wins are simply boundaries established, discipline, healing, being healthier, being consistent, learning, building your character. The invisible wins often create the visible victories and the foundation for winning later. Now, when I talk about shrink the future, don't focus on the next 6 months. I know y'all gonna say, Johnnie, what are you talking about? Okay, I'm gonna put the tips back down here so you can read them. So when I talk about shrinking the future, don't focus on the next 6 months. What's the one meaningful action, the one phone call, the one page you can write, the one workout, the one conversation, the one chapter, the one decision where your momentum will beat you feeling overwhelmed? Okay? So this is what I have to say as I close. Besides, I'm gonna give you something free. Praise him. I'm gonna remind you that you can go to let's do this one. This is the 15-day clarity identity first. It's still out there and available, and it's 15 days of identity first. And that's really important because identity decides, right, before. And then before your action begins. And then the second one, which I showed briefly, is to get, I think it's 15 better questions to ask. That's your gift as well. And if you go out to the stand store, just go out to my stand store. And when you go out, you'll see these two things there, and they're at no cost. Now, there's some stuff out there that costs money. However, these are just to make sure that you can literally start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And that you matter. You matter to me. You matter to the channel, because it's our channel, right? So put questions and comments out there. Please follow, like, and subscribe. And then, so like I said, let's do the closing. So today, it's been a little long, but no, it's only, I think it's less than 30 minutes so far. I want to challenge, you. Before you ask or you even embrace the wrong question, which is, why am I so far behind? I want you to pause. Use the 99.3 that we talk about. Take the 90 seconds, and during those 90 seconds, take 9 deep breaths. Then ask yourselves the 3 questions that we posed before. Is this statement true? What evidence supports or contradicts it? And what is the one meaningful step that you can take now that would cause you to have momentum? Because the goal isn't perfection. Ain't but one that was perfect that I'm aware of. So the goal is not perfection. The goal isn't catching up. The goal isn't proving yourself. The goal is alignment. And that's why I offer the identity first 15 page thing, because that ebook is going to help you with your alignment. And here's what I've discovered. Because remember, it was part of my question. Many of us are not behind. We're simply measuring ourselves against a version of the journey that no longer exists. This year is not over. Your story is not finished, and neither are you. So stop asking, why are you so far behind? And start asking, what has God, life, and experience already helped me to build that I haven't stopped long enough to appreciate? It sounds like a gratitude journal or some thought to just be grateful for this moment, this day. That question changes everything. And that is the highest level right response that I can ever provide. And that response makes all the difference. And hello, Karen, thank you for being here. And I'm so glad you caught me live. Do you have any questions or anything that I can address? Please let me know. I'll gladly stay a few more moments and address that. Because this matters, guys. Like I said, it was about something I saw. And what it does when you realize and you free yourself from the statement of why am I so far behind, it gives you an opportunity to look at things a little bit different and move forward. So listen, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I have already started following you, and I'm looking forward. Hope other people follow you as well. You have some great content. So I'm looking forward to it. Listen, y'all have an amazing day. I have some more work to do, but I am excited about spending this time with you. And it really means something. And I'm going to keep on doing the wrong questions, the right response, because I think that's going to be very impactful for where all of us desire to go next. Because we're bold, we're brave, and we're brilliant. And there is no one like you. Have a great day.